Hey, welcome back. This workout is called the whole shebang because we're going to do a little bit of everything. After we get warmed up, hit some core, some balance, some movement, strength, and finally a little bit of recovery because, well, it's a great thing to do at the end of a workout. Let's get started. About 20 of these. And as we get into this through the warm up, I will talk more about how the workout is going to progress. So stepping over, kind of elbows out in a little bit, stepping over one leg. You can rotate around your, kind of around the ribs. You'll feel the core activate, just stepping over across. About 20 each way if you want to count these out. So we'll do three little preparation warm-up moves, this being the first one, about 20 reps of each of these three. And then we'll go into a little bit of core and balance work, some movement, strength. Now the strength portion, when you go back, if you want to do this, like I said, like we've done with the other ones, we will go through everything, and then you're more than welcome to go back and do it 2 or 3 times. The strength portion, I'll recommend, about 3 sets of 10 for this particular part of the series of workouts. All right, next up, little toe touch, but one leg out, flex the toe towards your face, push your hips back, go down, touch. So if my left leg's out, touch with the right hand. You should feel that all along that back left line. Now think about this. And when you're doing any kind of, movement in which your upper body goes forward, think about extending the hip, pushing the hip back, if you will, in order to bring your upper body forward. You do that so you have more integrity, just an alignment. Your core is more engaged. You're not crunching into the vertebra. We'll do 20 total. So I think this is about 16, 17. Almost there. We'll do one more on each side. You should feel that, especially if you flex the toe back all the way down into your calf. All right, next up, a little bit of shoulder. So plant your feet, find that good contact, cross the ball of the foot into the heel, arms out, so palms up. Now turn your right palm down, and let's do a little counter rotation. Right around the shoulder. About 20 of these each way. It should feel really good around the shoulder. You may feel it down the arm line as well. And it's okay if your upper body shifts side to side. We're not just, flipping our hands up and down. This is all the way up that arm line into the shoulder. And as you can see with me, it'll even kind of shift your head and shoulders side to side a little bit. Your ribs might move side to side a little bit, but it's primarily a shoulder-centric move. So you can do about 20 of these each way. This is one of these things you can just break out any time during the day to feel good, even if you're not about to work out, maybe if you're just sitting at a desk. One more each way. All right, beautiful. Let's go into the core and balance part. No weight required here. We won't be using actually additional weight until we get to the strength portion. Right hand, pick up your right leg so you're anchored into that left hip and push the left hip back. You can bend the left knee. Reach out and then reach back with the leg. One side, then the other. I'll show you several angles on this. So remember, just like I mentioned just a little bit earlier, find that good, full, even weight distribution across your feet. So basically what that is across the ball of the foot, you want to find 3 kind of anchor points. One right below the big toe on the ball of the foot. One right below the pinky toe on the ball of the foot. And then one kind of in the center of the heel. So good even weight, like almost like a triangle of weight distribution. And of course with this, just like with that second warm-up move we did, you're extending the hip back. You're pushing the hip back, which will bring you forward. And you're also going to feel more activity in the glute. Gives you better balance, better alignment, more core involvement. How about one more of these on each side? We'll do about 10 each side for this portion. That is fantastic. Next up, something called windmill. Feet right under your hips, about hips distance apart, toes going straight ahead. Kind of find that alignment there. Kneecap in line with the second toe. If you really want to get technical, in line with the outside of the hip there. Arms out, shoulders down, and you're moving from here. So tilt, legs stay pretty still. Doesn't matter how far you go. Palms forward if you can. Arms a little bit lower than your shoulders, side to side. It's often called windmill. little bit of lateral movement. In fact, I'll show you what it looks like from the side. Note my shoulders are staying in line with the hips. I'm not twisting the upper body. I'm laterally flexing. If you're playing at home, if you're playing, some sort of movement bingo at home, kinesiology bingo. I know it's very popular these days. All the kids are doing it. One side, then the other. Let's do about 10 of these each way. One more here, one more there. All right, let's get into the movement portion of the workout. Feet maybe a little bit wider than your hips. Really anchor in, find that good even weight distribution. Maybe feel like you're pushing the heels in toward each other. It's going to turn the glutes on, get the adductors going as well. And squat when you come up, knee drive. Squat, knee drive. Squat, knee drive. And just nail that landing. Good even weight distribution. Drop your hips evenly. Knee drive. 20 total, 10 each way. Here's kind of a side view. Remember, extend the hips back, extend the hips, knee drive, extend the hips, knee drive. So a little more active, a little faster. You're warmed up. We're going to do about 20 each. 20 total, about 10 each way. This is also something you can add in just for. It's great active warm up before any workout. One more. All right, and immediately into line hops. A little flexion in the knees. Just good athletic stance here and just side to side. Now, if you have sort of tweaky, tender, if you have knee problems, ankle problems, foot problems, even hip problems, you may just kind of want to go side to side like a short skater. Otherwise, a little line hop, count them out, 9, 10. Beautiful, 10 each way of those. Now into the strength portion. So I'm going to use these 2 dumbbells. I also have adjustable weights there. Really convenient if you have a smaller space. Maybe if you're doing all of this at home, smaller space. But grab a couple dumbbells. We're going to do rows to begin with. So find something appropriate for you for that underhand row. So you can use a bench if you need to. Do them one at a time. In this video, we will do them both arms at a time. Drop your hips. Note my setup. So I'm going to put those down for a moment. Feet in line with the hips. Kind of like that. Hips go back. That's engaged. Obviously, back extensors working too. If you start to round, if you can't hold yourself up in a little bit of extension, maybe use a bench. Do these one at a time. Otherwise, 10 reps. Palms forward, so thumbs out. And squeeze back in a row. Now note the position of my neck. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this. My neck, cervical part of the spine, in line with the rest of my spine. 10 of these, row and back. All right, beautiful. Now, I recommend 3 sets of 10, so if you go back through, or you can stop this workout video for a second and do your second and third set. Otherwise, it's followed by count these on each side. So a clean, I'll show you a clean here in a second, but it's essentially in the shoulder part actually. Elbows drive up, roll your shoulders back. We're going to pair that with a lunge back. So a little bit lighter than you might use. So if I step back with my right, I'm sort of doing that clean motion, that movement, that rotation. And note where my elbow is. It's a little below my shoulder. It's not up here. It's not down there. You just want good movement with that upper arm kind of, at a downward angle from the shoulder. Now, if this is not right for you, if you have tweaky shoulders, you can always step back and do a front raise with your palm turned into that, not quite the same exercise, but works many of the same areas. 10 of these each side, so one more on the other side. Beautiful, that's your second one. Now, third in the strength portion. Hip flies, posterior shoulder. Back of the arm some, outside of your back. Same setup as the underhand row. I mean, in terms of your base. Good even weight distribution across your feet. Drop your hips. Neutral neck. Except this, you want your thumbs turned in toward the outside of your thighs. Go back and then down slowly. So this one, you don't want to swing. It's too easy to get swinging, and we're not doing that. Back, pause at the top, and back down. Back, pause at the top, and back down. Now, if this causes discomfort in your neck, maybe drop the weight a little bit. But you want to feel this in the outside portion of your back of the arms, obviously. Triceps, posterior delt. Oh, yeah, again, for those of you playing kinesiology bingo. One more. All right, beautiful. Last little thing, you can set the weights down. Make your way to the floor, 10 push-ups, but alternating leg extensions, like so. So find your good setup for that push-up. Now, if you need to be on your knees, that's cool, but you can do the same thing. Just lift up one leg at a time. Regular push-up form. Remember, you want your hands kind of spread wide. You know, really don't be lazy with it, or one hand's like that, one hand's like that. You want it set up kind of like this. If you're looking at me from the ground, a little bit of a turnout. Not directly under the shoulders, maybe slightly wider. Elbows out at a natural angle. What feels natural for you? Let's do 10 push-up hip extensions. Come up, lift up, come up, lift up. That's how we're doing it. So 10 total push-ups, 5 hip extensions each side. I'll try not to bang my mic. So lift up the leg when you go down. One more. Beautiful. All right, that's the strength portion. Those 4. Remember, I'd recommend 3 sets of 10 for the strength portion of this workout. Now, the little recovery for the whole shebang. Stand up. Bend your knees. Kind of walk all the way out. High plank. I know we were just there, right? So you can do this from your knees too. But slowly let your chest come through. Shoulders roll back and down. Knees up or down. Just roll. So if that's not quite right for you, you can always keep your knees down from the start, or even bring your hips down and hold more of a Sphinx pose versus what is more of an up dog. But again, if it bothers your low back or shoulders or anything, but roll those shoulders back, chest up, look up if you want. About a 30-second hold there. Now, come to kneeling. Again, to your own degree, maybe interlace your fingers, shoulders back and down. Lift up. Away from the chest, down that front arm line. Try not to let your shoulders go up, but actually kind of actively pushing away with the knuckles. If you want to, if this is available to you, push your hips back, forehead to the floor, arms around. But wherever you are, it's a great time to focus on breathing. I mean, always is, but especially when you're cooling down, you're slowing your rate of respiration, your heart rate's lowering. Remember, if you've checked out the breathing video I've made, ribs go wide when you inhale, abdomen expands, you'll feel the back expand too, because that cylinder of support expands as you inhale, and you will exhale naturally. All right, come on up. That was the whole shebang. Nice job. I look forward to seeing you next time.